Sorry. Welcome to the Culture Law Podcast. Welcome to Washington Law. This podcast is separate from my role as an attorney. However, it is my job to educate and teach and to put in context for you. And today we're going over landlord obligations. So let's get it rolling. All right. So many of you as landlords might try to figure out what obligations that you have because you have so many obligations under the Landlord-Tenant Act, depending on what state you're in. Yeah, in Washington State, here are a few of them. So the first obligation is the obligation to act in good faith. And this applies to every duty under the Landlord Residential Tenant Act and every act that must be performed as a condition precedent to the exercise of a right or remedy under this chapter. So if you fail to act in good faith for a act that is performed as a condition precedent, you might have voided your right. So number 2 is payment. Payment must first be applied to the total amount due. So if you're charging late fees and you get a payment, you can't just apply that to the late fee. You have to apply that to the total amount due. Number 3, in types of payments, you must accept as payment the form of cash, money orders, personal checks, and cashier's checks. You can't refuse those types of payments. And then you must also provide a written receipt for payments made by a tenant that is other than cash. Okay. Number 4, you have a new process when you provide a notice to vacate in Washington where you must provide the notice to the Dispute Resolution Center. And so when you do that, the Dispute Resolution Center is going to reach out to them, the tenant, try to negotiate a reasonable repayment plan if it's for that example. Okay. And that your state might have a similar situation as far as a dispute resolution obligation that you have as a landlord. You're just going to have to figure that out on your state. Make sure you click the like button so we can get this to the Google algorithm and we can get this out to more peeps. Habitability of the premises. So you have to keep the premises reasonably clean, no fire hazards, you need to make repairs, you got to make it weather tight, plumbing, electrical, no issues there, and you must, keep the property secure like locks. But you essentially need to keep the property in good condition. All right. You need to have plans for the property, and you need to make those plans available to the tenant. Plans for emergency notification, relocation, evacuation, so forth. And you also need to provide information about those plans, and such as information to the tenants about smoke detector devices. All right, number 7, and my heat just turned off, so you might be able to hear me better now. Indoor mold. You have to provide information to the tenant about health hazards associated with exposure to mold. This information must be provided either individually to each tenant or posted in a visible public location at the dwelling unit. So that's it. That's 7 obligations that you have. There are quite a bit more. We can probably go over in a different episode here, but this is a good start as to some of the obligations that maybe you didn't know about, and then waiving your rights as a landlord. Okay, so as always, speak to an attorney before you start an eviction notice. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. All right, see you later. Peace.